Yik aya yich satini, stakat yuhan, gonalchish hati ade. Ach tu kleka yikach, stakat yuhan. It's good to see you guys here. As I'm letting people in, just wanted to mention that it's good to see you. Thank you for coming. And I just feel proud of you guys. We've been doing a lot in this class, putting ourselves out there, learning from Shakhsani Keek, Shirley Kendall, how to do a proper Qa'ik, using her experiences, her knowledge from her experiences, as well as what our guest speaker, Edna Lanebel, shared with us. Um, and then we also ordered the book, Ceremonial Practices from Sea Alaska Heritage. So, da kunyagi aya ya yagi dis klein yu duasa ya dis kleka kada kunyawahi. It's the fourth day of the week, big moon, and 24 days have passed this month. Couple of announcements. We mentioned this on Tuesday, but next week we're going to take a break. So my mom's birthday is on October 29th. I don't mean to laugh, but that is partly why I'm canceling class because I don't see my family a whole lot and I need to make time for them. Plus, I just need the time to wind down, take a break after running around for AFN, Elders and Youth, a couple speaking engagements I had at the Native Language Summit. And the seasons are changing. It got cold here fast in Anchorage. So I need a week to slow down. Click It and Haida is in agreement. So next week, October 29th and 31st, we will not have class. Shirley and I will be resting. We hope you guys get some extra rest as well. And since we're canceling class next week, we scooted up our naming ceremony to today. We've been working together as a group on names, on our invitation list. Today we'll be doing invitations as well. And now that we're starting to have formal events leading up to our Ku'ik, personally, I feel a little bit nervous, trying to make sure that we do it as correctly as we can, but also having grace for ourselves that we're still learning, and that's why we're doing it today. This is it's practice for us. Quick reminder of our schedule. I have got the month of October up, and so today is Thursday, October 24th. We're going to do our naming and invitations. We'll take a break next week. And then when we come back on November 5th, we'll have our Ku'ik. If we run out of time for everybody to give their speeches, we'll carry it over to the following Thursday, November 7th.
Hello, this
So,
is Ayah Kalakhat.
ah,
Are you showing us the calendar? Because all I could see is a desktop.
ooh, thank you for telling me. Here, I'm like talking along. 1 second. So, yeah, here's the calendar. Thank you for telling me. Today, Thursday, and break next week, and then our week. Any questions on that?
Yeah, I have a question about the ku'ik.
Uh,
Um, what kind of ku'ik are we having? Is it like a totem pole raising, or patriation, or memorial, or does it matter? I mean, what kind of ku'ik we're having?
that's a good question. We haven't discussed it. Um, do you have any thoughts?
Um, I've I've participated in different ku'iks, but maybe maybe something like a totem pole raising or maybe a mock repatriation. But they're all kind of similar, but maybe something kind of positive.
That's a good idea. Maybe a totem pole raising or repatriation. Um, I'm gonna add it in my notes and then ask Shirley when she and I meet again. So let's put it in our questions. What type, what kind of clue?
I've even seen one time they named a house.
Uh huh.
Yeah, it was pretty neat.
Oh. Yeah, that's a good question. Does anybody else have ideas of what kind of clique we could recommend or ask Shirley about?
I have a question.
Yeah.
Um, don't they normally, or don't we normally have a celebration just for naming?
Yeah. Um, does anybody want to mention anything about that before I share what I have?
I've seen it done. I've seen just kind of gatherings for naming, but that's usually in situations where the clan, that the person is being adopted into or named by is not having a ku'ik. Otherwise, it's important for people to be brought out into the community and be publicly given that name.
Okay, I see. I know that like for Karkars Tagish First Nation who've inland, but um, have adopted a lot of things that are from coastal Tlingit. And so that's where I was actually named as well. But what they did was adopt several people into the First Nation to give them names, etc., because so many of that we lost, right? So I think that that was what was done. I just wondered if they just had, you know, are used to having sort of just these type of ceremonies for renaming or naming. So yeah, thanks.
Hmm. Really good
I
question.
don't think it's very common, but we did that. I'm in Haynes, and back in April this year, I'm in another Lingit class that meets in person. People from Haynes and Clark will go there, and we did our own week, and we came together and we gave names. I don't think we adopted anyone into clans, but we did give names to people from multiple clans. It wasn't hosted by one particular clan or moiety. It was hosted by kind of the class as a whole. And we invited the community by word of mouth. Friends and family came and joined us for a meal for a lunchtime, and we gave out some names, but it was a little unorthodox. We wanted to do it because we have people in the class and the community that didn't have names, and it's kind of unfortunate to wait around for someone to pass away or something before you have the opportunity to give a name to somebody. So we decided, hey, we're just gonna do this and see what happens, and it was really well received, and we're already talking about doing it again next year.
Oh.
When the class each year the class kind of ends around the summertime, and we're making plans to do that again next year.
Oh, I love that. What does it mean for you guys in your communities who are giving names? What is the significance to the community?
For us, it's actually very much about identity and belonging into that clan and being part of the family.
Hmm. Okay.
And a lot of history because a lot of these names that are passed on are our ancestors' names that get passed on generation to generation in our clan. I've seen naming done a couple different ways. I've seen it done at a kui. I'm from Natassi Cross. I've seen it done at kuiks, but nothing done at memorial ones, just at the 1 year Ku'ik. And then I've also seen where clans do their own naming ceremony. So Ishkatan, we've done at like a family reunion. We have a bunch of people there. So a couple different ways I think you can do them.
Beautiful. Anybody else want to add? For our learning purposes today, our plan is to do the naming ceremony in advance of the Ku'ik so that when we have our Ku'ik on November 5th, we'll bring it out into public ceremony. So that's our plan. So we mentioned last Tuesday that Kayak Kaudukat will be our Nakani, or our favorite brother-in-law. For the naming ceremony, I queued up the video that we watched previously, Angoon 100 Years Later. But there's a part in the video where they give Austin Hammond a name. So just for us to kind of set into the mood of it, I'm going to show you just a short clip. You guys can see the screen now, right? Okay, good.
Public appearances as governor of Alaska was at Angoon's commemoration ceremony. Tlinkits bestow ceremonial names upon their own people, and to non-Tlinkits they greatly respect. Ceremonial names are handed down from generation to generation. The names of great people might not be given again for several generations, until a person of appropriate stature and accomplishment is found.
Oh, wait a minute. Sorry, I wasn't supposed to stop yet.
Public appearances as
One moment.
appearances as
Sorry, guys. One sec. Bear with me.
not be given again for several generations, until a person of appropriate stature and accomplishment is found. When a person has been honored with a name from the past, he assumes all the rights and obligations of the person who last held that name, including clan relationships. In terms of the ceremonial life of the clan, the contemporary person has become the deceased person who had that name. So in a manner of thinking, great leaders and loved ones are with the Tlinkits again. As we shall see later, this can be a source of comfort and strength to all.
And now you will witness the formal and traditional giving of name.
Here, Governor Hammond is officially adopted into the brown bear clan. His new name means you don't see a brown bear coming through the forest. When you first see him, he's already in front of you.
The name will now be placed on Governor Hammond, the Lingit name. Clear-cut stager, clear-cut stager, clear-cut stager, clear-cut stager, clear-cut stager, clear-cut stager. Thank you very much.
And as in all things Tlingit, the family must share in the occasion. In this case, a brand new family of clan brothers, sisters, aunts, uncles, grandparents, and so on.
Today, however, has as well a sad side.
Okay, and then he addresses the history of Angoon. But watching the video, what did you guys think about in terms of the naming ceremony and when they chose to have it? Or any questions about the how many times it's repeated, what is said? Any questions?
Hello, this is Kayak Kaudukat.
Yeah.
I think as I think about it a little bit more, I think that it's the more important part is having the opposite guest there to witness the act of giving the name once it's done in a public area. And it really has a lot to do with our belief and our breath of life. You know, at birth, usually a mother's grandma would give us the name, and then at that point would be her rites of passage. But in this case, it's a little bit different, but it's still kind of similar in nature. But I think as long as you have the proper witnesses there, and as he puts the money on the head, and then he gives it to the opposite clan, I think, and usually someone related to that name or someone tied to it, kind of.
Okay. So the witness would be of the opposite clan?
I think so.
Okay. Awesome. Thank you. It's really good insight. Anybody else?
I've also seen it be the opposite clan that receives the money, as well as is the one that does the saying of the name 3 times in a row.
Okay. So the person receiving the name will use a dollar bill. And you can use the same bill 4 times. Usually it's 4 separate bills, is what Shirley told us, but this will be virtual. And then we worked on some names outside of class as well as together in class. So the name we were going for was War from the Sky, which is close to our namee's heart for being a nickname from his aunties. When Shirley and I talked about it after class, she recommended saying Flying Warrior. So I realize it's a little bit different from War from the Sky. And I can talk to her about it since this is a naming ceremony for a nickname in class and for our practice purposes. I feel that the name can be changed later on. You're not going to be tied to this name. But the name we came up with was Flying Warrior. And so you guys can practice it with me. Repeat after me the word for he is flying. Yandakin.
Yandakin.
And then these 2 words mean true man. This is how you say warrior. So repeat after me the first word. Kega.
Kega.
Again. Kega.
Kega.
And then this last word. Ka.
Ka.
So the 2 words together. Kega ka.
Kega. Ka.
Again. Kega ka.
Kega. Ka.
Again, the first half. Yandakin.
Yandakin.
Kega ka.
Kega. Ka.
Yeah. Carrie, do you agree to this name?
Yeah, I do.
Okay. So what we're gonna do today, as you probably all noticed in the video, he adds at the end of the name, and this is to add to the name as like they're saying this is his name. So what we'll say is the name, and then add Is that right, you guys? That's how I'm remembering it, but I'm open to correction.
That's how it is, I believe. I'm not sure if it's 3 times or 4 times, but I believe Shirley said 4 times.
Yeah, good point. Shirley told us 4 times. She said often nowadays it'll get repeated 3 times, but traditionally it's 4. So we'll do it 4. So Carrie, do you have a dollar bill?
Yes, I do.
Okay. You can put it up to your forehead. And if we were in person, it would be someone from the opposite clan, right? Or same clan?
I can grab someone from Duckton and have her come up here and hold it.
Okay.
She's
Okay, if you
asleep
don't
right
mind.
now.
Oh, they're asleep. You
Yeah,
don't need to
I
wake.
can. Okay.
No, you don't need to wake them up. We can do it. We can do it for real when we do in person.
Okay.
Okay. So go ahead and put it up to your forehead. I'll say the name, and then everyone else can repeat after me. So, Yandakin Kega Ka'a.
Yandakin Eka.
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 Good Chish. Good job. So that's what we'll call you in class now. And then the witness from the other side would be the Raven clan. So who's our ravens? Okay. Kauti Akla, you'll be our witness. Shagi Akla, you're also our witness. Konalchish. Anything else to add, anybody? Okay, Felina, I know we want to work on a name for you as well, so you can shoot us an email and we'll work on that with you as well. I'll put mine in the chat. So that's our naming ceremony. Now for the Council of Chiefs, we selected them on Tuesday. 3 spokespeople or chiefs for the Eagle side will be Shachsani Keek, Shirley Kendall, Seiki, and Tauk.
I believe none of them are here today.
I just looked at the screen to see, and I agree. Normally, the Council of Chiefs would provide a list of invitees to the Naukani, who will then go door to door and invite people. Since I already prepared the list of names, I put them up here for you to see. And I'm gonna make this big on the screen, but you can go ahead and just go down the list. So you'll see if Kua is here. I don't see her here. Go down the list and say their name. For example, Seki, Iudua Ik, Anatuchat, Hat Yesana. So we'll practice these again before you start.
So should I go ahead and go over their names even if they're not present?
I don't know.
Just to say that the invitation was sent.
That seems fair.
Because they can't be invited if you don't invite them.
That is very true.
So I made little flashcards. To kind of
You
help.
did?
Yeah.
Cool. For the invitations?
Just for the same thing you have on the screen there.
Yeah.
For the even for the phrases that we're supposed to practice for the pu'i.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nice. So Shirley wants everybody to practice the lines together. So we'll do that, and then I'll let you go down the list and invite everybody. So everybody, this first line is what our now Kanye will say when he goes to the house, and it means you are invited. So he knocks on the door, goes inside, lets him know. Let's start with the end of the word first. This is the same word for ko'ik. It's about invitation, about being invited. So in ko'ik, the word means people are invited. This prefix iuduaik means you are invited, specifically one person they're talking to. This pinched X with the apostrophe just sounds like so repeat after me. Eek.
Eek.
E.
Good. A lot of times beginners will make this into a K to make it a little easier for them, but you need to make a pinched X. And you guys all sound really good, so nice work. Again, repeat after me. Eek.
Eek.
E.
Good. The first half of the word, repeat after me. Iudua.
Ew.
Dua.
The period is like a glottal stop, just like when you say uh-oh, you kind of stop the air. So the whole word, repeat after me. Iudua. Eek.
Eek.
Good. So he'll let them know you're invited. Then he's going to say what you're going to eat with, bring it with you. And this is something Shirley taught us so that when people go to Ko'ik to reduce the amount of dishes or throwaway dishes that have to be handled and dealt with, everyone brings their own plates and cutlery. And so let's start with the last half of the sentence first. Repeat after me these two words. Yay, sana.
Yay,
Yeah.
sana.
And then hot to hear. Hot, yay, sana.
Hot. Yay, sana.
Hot.
Yes, and
Yeah, it means bring it. The first half is the things you eat with. So the first two words, anat,
Anat.
at
duchaat,
do
Duchaat.
at
anat, duchaat.
Anat.
at
Duchaat.
at
Again, anat, duchaat.
Anat.
at
Duchaat.
Hot, yay, sana.
Hot. Yay, sana.
Anat, duchaat, hot, yay, sana.
Anat.
Yeah.
Good. So from the top, everyone repeat after me. Ew, do a eek.
Ew, do it. Eek.
Anat, duchaat, hot, yay, sana.
Anat. Duchaat. Yay, sana.
Good, nice. So, kaya kakao duchat, do you feel comfortable doing invitations now?
Yeah. I'll give it a try.
Okay.
So should I just start with Kua?
I think so.
Kaya kalakhat yukhat do a sock. Kua il do a ik. An at ducha at khat yesane.
Okay.
Seki. You do a ik. An at ducha at khat yesane.
Okay.
Top. Il do a ik. An at ducha at khat yesane.
Okay.
Shach Sani Keek. Il do a ik. An at ducha at khat yesane.
Ah.
Kaya. Il do a ik. an at duha at hat yesane.
Okay.
Yandakin khega ka il dua ik an at duha at hat yesane.
Okay.
Felina il dua ik an at duha at hat yesane.
Good job.
Sheesh.
Ah, kunachike. Any questions or comments? We talked about seating last week. Kind of forget where we left off with this, but I made this graph and the speakers in the front. I put an aisle in the middle because recently the clique I attend had like an aisle with the Eagles on the left and the Ravens on the right. But Shirley mentioned to us that actually the hosts will not be seated, the Ravens will not be seated because they'll be busy hosting, passing out meals, making sure everything is lined up for the next event. And so we have about 7 or 8 each, Ravens and Eagles. And basically, we need to decide where to seat the Council of Chiefs. So, Shirley kind of recommended putting maybe some in front and some on the sides. But basically, it's to make everybody feel, all the guests feel that they're being served equally and to ensure that they are served equally because there will be a lot of food and snacks being distributed throughout the entire ceremony. Edna mentioned when she came to our class that sometimes she noticed that they'll have the Council of Chiefs sitting in the back row so that they can watch over everybody and make sure everyone gets fed. Kaya Kaudachat, how do you feel about it?
Yeah, I've seen the Huifs I've been to. They usually have a front table for the leaders that are invited. And usually there's quite a bit of them, but I think with this situation, going with what Shirley had recommended, that all the Ravens are going to be busy at this kuich, so they won't be seated. And considering that we only have 2 clans here, maybe we can put one clan on one side and one clan on the other, Dakhawadi on the left or Kagwantan on the right.
Mm.
And that way we just know who we're addressing when we're addressing, for example, our father's people or our grandfather's people. So we just know which one we're addressing.
That sounds good. That sounds really smart. So if we did Daksawadi and Kagwantan.
And that just brings up one more quick question: is that
Yeah.
I know we did the adoption earlier, but what clan did we adopt him into?
Well, we just did a naming ceremony without a clan adoption. Does
Oh.
that sound okay?
Yeah.
Okay. So let's think about our Council of Chiefs who we have. Shirley is Kagwantan, Seki is Kagwantan, and Kua is also Kagwantan. Oh no, Seki is Daklawedi. So if we do our seating arrangement, we would have maybe Seki, and then we have Shakhsani Kik. One moment, I'm gonna fix this. Instead of having an aisle in them, maybe we'll keep the aisle. And Kua. We can move these around. Make it a little bigger. So we have 3 Council of Chiefs. Do we want them like in the front or on the sides? Or in the back? This is about as where my knowledge extends to for seating. So, if you guys want, I think we can wait until we talk to Shirley. I can show her, all right, this is what we came up with. What do you think? Does that sound good to you all? Okay.
Yeah, you missed that, but it'd be nice to mix our clan when it's time to do speeches and to share songs. That way we're together now.
Time to do what?
When it's time for the speeches,
Yeah,
so we're there to support our clan who's doing the speech, and then time to share songs.
that sounds good.
Already
So
together.
that makes sense. Okay. So let's add the other clan members so that they're there. So Dakloedis, we also have Kaya. Oops. And then for the Kagwantan side, we also have... I'm gonna make a seat for our Nakani. He may have time to sit down between events. What do you guys think? Oops.
If I do, it's most likely going to be during the speech giving.
Oh, yeah. I'm gonna put you in front. So if you have a chance to sit down, it'll probably be the speech giving. We're gonna start with you up front so you're up there. Oops, sorry guys. I'm just gonna make this whole thing. Okay, and then let's add everybody else. We have Tao Kagwantan. We have Yandakin Ikaka. We'll seat you with the Duckloidy. Does that sound good, Nakani? Okay. Okay. And Felina. We'll seat you with the Duckloidy as well. I think it's a good starting point. It makes me realize all the thought that goes into Ko'ik to make sure everybody feels hosted and cared for. We still have 20 minutes, so if there's no more comments on seating, Shirley has asked me to start to go over the speeches with you all. And there are a couple phrases, like we mentioned, we'll add in that are specific to addressing an audience. The first is Xiaodaneki Sha Kakag, and it means ladies and gentlemen. Then when the speaker they'll say at this time, I also would like to speak. Yeah, for our class purposes, your speech will be your self introduction. So if there are people that are still learning how to introduce yourself in Tlingit, we'll be working on that. And then if there's news to share, Shirley said that when she was growing up, there would be things that should be memorialized and talked about continuously so that it's not forgotten. Usually, big news like something positive that happened, something that's important, they want to bring it up, something that your clan achieved. And yes, I just saw in the chat, can you send us this PowerPoint again? Helpful for our homework. I will definitely do that. So this first line, let's practice it together. And this last three words mean women and men. So let's say this last word, repeat after me. Ka. Good. It's a pinched XW, so you'll round your lips as you breathe out the pinched X. And it sounds like this. Ka. Good. This word means and. Repeat after me. Ka. And the first word is women. Sha. Mm-hmm. So, ladies and gentlemen, or these last three words, sha ka ka. Mm-hmm. Now this first two words, just put the sh right into the ya, so it sounds like this. Repeat after me. Shia. Awudaneki. Shiaudaneki. Good. Again. Shiaudaneki. Shakaka. Good. That's good. So the whole line. Shiaudaneki. Shakaka. Good. That just means ladies and gentlemen. Any questions before we do the next line? The next line is, at this time, I would also like to speak. So these two words I'm going to start with in the middle of the sentence, khatsu, mean me too. So repeat after me. Khatsu. Again, khatsu. This last word, kakhtani, is I speak. So the ending of it, repeat after me. Tani. Yeah. This first half is a pinched underline X and then a rounded underline X. Repeat after me. Good. And then good. And then you go right into this. Datani. Good. The whole word. Datani. Nice. Again. Datani. Good. When I have to public speak, I like to memorize the last word first. My strategy is maybe I'll have a note in case I need to refer to it. But if there's a word that's challenging to me and I know it comes at the end, I try to make that one be my best friend so that when I get to it, I feel relieved, not like, oh God, here it comes. You kind of want to like focus. If the whole sentence is kind of long and the last one is challenging to you, try to make friends with the last word so that when you get to it, you're like, okay, cool, I'm at the one that I know. I've drilled it 160 times. I'm used to it. So let's do this one more time. Repeat after me. Khachtatani.
Achtatani.
Tani.
Good, you guys are there. So the last three words. Chatzu khachtatani.
Achtu. Achtatani.
Good. The first two words are mean right now. Repeat after me. Ya yidat.
Yaidat.
And then I want. Achtuwa sigu.
Achtua. Siku.
Chatzu khachtatani.
Achtu.
Tani.
Itani.
Good. Two chunks. Ya yidat achtuwa sigu.
Yaida. Achtua. Siku.
Chatzu khachtatani.
Achtu. Achtatani.
Dang, guys. You sound good. And then do the whole sentence. Ya yidat achtuwa sigu. Chatzu khachtatani.
Yaida. Achtua. Siku.
Sigu.
Yatu.
Tatu. Tani.
Achtatani.
Good. Any questions on that?
How long does it take to memorize that one?
When in my first year, it would take me maybe a couple of days just to get one line.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like in my very first class, we had to do maybe 5-line presentation. We had to try to memorize. So my strategy was, okay, I'll just practice the first line, reading it, and then I'll try to look away and say as many of the words as I can before I look at my note, just on the first line. So if I wanted to eventually go xiao denik isha kakao, I would look away and be like, okay, I think the first two words were shia something, shia, and then look awudaniki. And then I would just drill it while I'm out skiing. As soon as I could say one line on its own, I would spend the rest of the day with it when I'm walking home from work, when I'm out skiing, whatever I'm doing. If you repeat it enough times, it kind of becomes a song. Like you get used to the melody. Xiao daniki sha kakao. Xiao daniki sha kakao. It's just like a song gets stuck in your head. You can kind of look away and see, do I still remember it? And then the next day, try the next line. So, okay. So, in my very first year, I don't think I did this long of sentences, but I did maybe a 5-sentence memorized speech. And I would say it took me a week or two to memorize it. Okay, before we go, who still needs to learn their self-introduction? So mine would be like Nila Torayuchat Duasak Jaman Nachat Sati Gonana Yadia Yechat Gasta Khan Gonas Chish.
I still need help with that.
Okay, awesome. Anybody else?
Do you have an example that you can provide for us?
Absolutely. So, in our planning, I'll put this in our PowerPoint and then email it to everybody.
Awesome. Thank you.
Ah,
Get us cheesh.
yuck. This is the introduction Shirley and I would like everybody to use. And I have a couple notes about it. So I'm going to add the self-introduction. Put it here. A couple notes that Shirley likes me to mention to folks is that this is your self-introduction. So obviously what I'm putting on the screen is a template, and she and I teach the self-introduction this way to our students specifically so that you all have to learn how to make the sounds. So we choose word lines that include things like Lingit Class. However, it doesn't mean that you need to fit into the template. We all come from, a lot of us come from mixed heritage or non-native heritage or have been adopted. So, for example, this line, Hittach with the clan house. I don't have a clan house because I'm not Tlingit. And then sometimes people can be Tlingit but not know their clan house. And in that case, we just make this line optional. So the clan house Hittach line is just if you know your clan house and you want to include it. But they are basically, mine would go like Kagrenach Anna, Yuchatu Wasak, Lingit Enach Nilatora, Yuchatu Wasak. German Nachatsati Qunana Yadia Yachat. So I skipped the clan house line and I said I'm of German heritage because I'm white American on my mom's side. That would be my lineage. Our ancestry is from Germany. So I just say we're German nation. Clan name can be interchanged with nation, tribe, moiety, clan. And then child of, this last line, is your father's people. So on my dad's side, we're Koykan Athabaskan. That's why I say I'm child of the Qunana. I'm child of the Athabaskan people. I will email this to everyone right now. Are there any questions before we go?
I have a question.
Yeah.
So, well, the one you sent us, is that what we are going to be saying? Or do we have to try to fill in our own? And who can help with that if we need to do that? Like a Deshitan is the clan name. So to
Yeah.
say that I belong to the Deshitan clan.
So let's do an example one. If I was gonna fill this in, I would say your mother's clan, Deshitan. And then, so repeat after me. Deshitan Nachatsati.
Oh, Deshitan Nachhastiti.
Good. And then do you know your clan house?
It is the split tail beaver.
Okay.
Which is the Deshitan, right? So.
Yeah.
Which is, believe falls through the, it's not eagle, it's beaver, but.
Yeah, I'm gonna pull up my resource really quick since we still have a few minutes. And I have a clan list, which we'll look at, and then I'll also put it in the chat.
That'd be awesome.
Okay, so let's see. I'm just gonna put this whole book in the chat. uploading now. It's the beginning Tlingit workbook.
A little
And-
light reading before our next class.
Okay. What I'm thinking, since the week off was kind of last minute, and we still have a couple things before the week.
That's our homework.
Yeah, you could do it as your homework, and then I'll be emailing you all and Shirley about a possibility of pushing the week one more week back, just so we have more time. So maybe this week, and I'll let you guys. I'll let you guys know. Read that whole book for homework. But before I let you go, I just want to show you the picture. I mean, the list, so that you know how I look things up when I'm looking up clans for my students. I go beginning Tlingit workbook, and then I scroll down to. You're so funny. A little light reading. The Haslingit City is right here. How under the chapter "How are you called?" There's a graph or a table on page 80, and the way I look things up in here, I know we gotta go soon, so don't worry.
Dakloedi.
What
is eagle?
Yeah. Dakloedi is eagle, and then Deishitan
Oh yeah.
is here. So, primary crest, beaver, split beaver. These would be the houses, the clan houses. And I have a lot to learn about clan houses still. So I don't know.
I think that mine would probably be the Ravens Bones house, I would say.
Okay.
But yeah, okay.
So if we were plugging this in as an example, then I would put it here. Right here. So I'll go take out hit because we already have that. It would look like Deishitan Nachatziti Yitzari Hitach, and then your father's clan. Yeah.
Opposite way for me, it would be my mother wasn't First Nation, my father was.
Oh yeah.
But I'll just switch it.
Yeah, so that's what I do, because my native side is on my dad's side. I just put it on the Yadi side. So Yadi is like child of, so that's for the other side. Cool, guys. We're out of time. Thank you for being good sports and learning with me today. I'll see you guys not next week, but the week after, and I'll send you all an update email.
Ganesh, have a good break.
Enjoy your week.
Cheese.
Equati.